So, the beginning of January, New Year's, 2013, right? So I reworked I tried building a wood stove last year, and with mixed results. I mean, it really was hard to get it to the right temperature, and so it put out a fair amount of smoke and used a lot of fuel. And I found some new information on stoves, and I think this is basically like a third world kind of heating, cooking design to efficiently use fuel and be healthy and all that. And I got that off the web. So this is what I came up with. It's steel that I had left over, and I made some refractory bricks for the where the fire burns, and then I put a insulating kind of refractory around the bricks to fill up basically it's a 16-inch square or cube, and then the pipes come out in like a U under there, so that carries heat, and this it's kind of a J-shaped burn chamber in the bottom 16 inches with a 4-inch flue and intake, and that chimney goes up inside the upper rectangle up to just short of these steel plates, and it's an insulated chimney, so that chimney gets really hot, and the hot air that and smoke comes up and hits that superheated hot plate at the top, because it's right above the exit of the chimney, and then it begins to burn the smoke basically there, and that rectangular box is sealed, and it forces the air out down here into this J-shaped extension of the chimney basically, and then it goes across here, up and out, and basically I just stoked it. I'm getting a little smoke in here, probably because I just didn't push the fuel in as far as before, and I probably overloaded it a little bit, but generally it doesn't do that. But nope, not yet. But anyway, it's doing pretty. It's really drawing some air there. The smoke stopped, and then so basically the chimney heats. You know, it's a surface area that allows heat to escape into this tiny little kind of greenhouse extension of the garage. And I cast these. I'm not even sure how I'm going to use them now that I made them. It's basically a kind of a homemade brick, insulating brick, that I'm going to use on top of this metal armature as a surface to create a mass and also insulate a little bit. And then I'm going to cover, I think the simplest way of doing it is I'm just going to store bags of sand and gravel that I'll use in the garden next year here underneath, and that's going to start building up a thermal mass. I'm going to try to kind of just seal it down around the bottom, and that way it all comes apart. But so anyway, these things, it's like a brick with a mold, and I can remove the frame, and then I'll have basically it's going to be about 1.25 inches. It's pretty thin. I don't know how strong they'll be, but I'm not. It's a clay, 1 part clay, 1 part Portland cement, 1 part sand, 2 parts perlite, and did I say clay? Cedar Heights fire clay. And they're kind of, I cast them yesterday, and I figured, well, they'll start to dry out. I actually cover them with plastic at night. This is the first day. I did it last night. It's hardening up, but it's kind of a lightweight, lot of perlite in there, a lightweight kind of tile. So we'll see. But now that I'm seeing them here. I could take those things and build that like into a shape, and basically I could make like a I could make like a cover for this out of a refractory slabs, and make a little window, a little arched, gingerbread window there, Hansel and Gretel window, something. But you could do whatever you want to cover this. Most of these things are made with barrels, and there's some. They actually market these things made basically with barrels to cook in like Central America and places like that, rural areas, maybe Africa. I don't know, off the grid places. I don't know how this. I put a pot on here. This is kind of for decoration. I don't know how hot it'll get there. And I just put it on there, and it's also another thermal mass. This thing here gets hot as hell, and these plates, they're pretty hot. They're very hot. I stacked 2 of them on there, so I'm not getting a little thermal mass there. You don't have to have 2 of them. It might get hotter if I didn't have the 2 of them. And I actually have some of the refractory bricks there that I made, so they're absorbing heat. Right now, there's no smoke coming out whatsoever. This chimney's. I could probably run. I bet I could run another U off of this, and get even a little bit more heat. Just a matter of. I don't know. I had this hole here, so I just ran it back to this hole. But you can run the chimney however you want. I think they say it's good to have it finish up high as opposed to down low. But I think I've seen people. Like it could chimney out there, but then I'd have to cut a hole. So this has been a fun project. It gives me lots of ideas for making some other. I don't know. It'd be nice to do another one. I might do one with a barrel. So I have to. Well, actually, I can retrofit the chimney I did, the fireplace I did last year. I might do it out in the greenhouse, and I might actually be able to use this space in here. I got to insulate the roof a little. That's I think I'm going to put some foam board on the roof up there on the outside. Leave the fireproof. This is my rain barrel over here, which I think was overflowed into here. So I now have a whole thing of water, which you can see Daniel's been putting cigarette butts in. And that's the clay I used. And this is stuff that we dismantled from rework in the shop, taking out some old shelves. So I just stoked this with little split pieces of this, like this. Split them down, and this is pretty full right now. It's going well, but all you're doing is just burning like little chunks of scrap, which is like a win-win. Which I always have tons of that stuff around.